Okay, been meaning to do this video for a while, so here we are doing this video. I get asked frequently about the things that I use while out exploring and metal detecting, and we're gonna go through them. And as I look at it, we have three categories. We have my digging gear, my pack, and the stuff that I carry on me, on my person. So all this stuff, there's gonna be links down below if you go to Amazon or wherever I point out is available, so you can go look at it. Either way, we have a bunch of stuff to go through, so we're going to start with the digging gear because it's kind of the smallest category and self-explanatory. We have a good friendship with First Texas Products, and they make Fisher, Technetics, Bounty Hunter, and I have a lot of their gear. This is my favorite, the Fisher F19. It's getting on in age, but it is still an amazing machine. It works so good at isolating targets in iron and junk. But the thing about it is, at this point in time, it's pretty inexpensive. So you can buy it, paint it like I have, beat the crap out of it, and enjoy it. And it's my favorite out of all the ones that I use because of the weight and the ergonomics. I like this type of setup with the handle, and I never get fatigued with this machine, and I've been using it for 4 years now. So F19 is definitely my choice. Second, the shovel. This is the one that I get asked more than anything. It is the Samson 18-inch double serrated shovel. I've said it before to people, this is the strongest thing I have ever owned in my life. Myself and the other guys use them. Nobody's ever bent one, broke one, nothing. It will wear down over time, especially if you're digging through rocks like we do. This one's a couple years old. I've been using these for over 10 years, and I think this is my third one. And the only reason I've switched them out is because I've gone to double serrated. My first one had worn down to a point where it was practically round. It's going to happen with a shovel, but lightweight. You guys see me hiking around. I can strap it right to the pack. It fits perfectly. Honestly, I could not imagine using anything else than this shovel. Then, the pouch. My dump pouch is a 511 tactical pouch. I think it's called the 6x6 Medic. And I run it through my belt with these straps, which are included with the pouch. 511 makes like the most durable pack pouch type stuff ever. I've been using this stuff for like 15 years. And the thing is, because it has molly loops on it, you can put your pinpointer, holster on it. The brush, these are something you can get from a beauty supply place. It is for fingernails and whatnot. Same thing, I've been carrying one of these for just about 10 years. Slides right in there. And then another 511 pouch that connects to it for my tins find, which I used to use just an Altoids tin, but CountyCom, who I buy a lot of stuff from, has been making these, I don't know if they call them industrial grade food tins or whatnot, but the thing is, like, I mean, it's tough. Not that it needs to be tough in here, but it is. So that's the pouch setup. This is my second one in over 10 years, and I only replaced my first one, which was probably 6 years old. I think this one I got in the beginning of 2020, because it just got nasty. That's it. It didn't fail. It just, after putting oxen shoes in other crap in there for so long, it just got to a point where I just wanted a new one and got one. Then I used 2 pinpointers, the Fisher F-Pulse and the Technetics Tech Point. They're both the same. One is red, one is green. So I just go with, you know, whatever color I'm in the mood for that day. I tend to keep the red one there just for visibility, but the green one is really cool looking. And yeah, another thing that's just tough as hell. It works great, and they've held up awesome. And what else can you say? And now for the on-person stuff. So we will start with flashlights, because you guys know I love flashlights, and the 2 that I carry constantly is the Warrior 3S and the Baton 3 Pro. So I carry 2 different flashlights for 2 different reasons. One, the Warrior 3S. I have been carrying a flashlight now for almost 30 years, EDC wise, and when ones with tail caps became available, that's what I switched to. So my natural reaction is, when I draw my flashlight, is to press the tail cap. So when I'm out digging, you'll see me grab different ones, but I tend to grab this, and I like the half press. I get 200 lumens right away, and it's really nice. I can see what I'm doing. But from an EDC point, full press, I get 2300 lumens. It's super bright, it's cool white, it cuts through the darkness. The Baton 3 Pro is a smaller flashlight, as you can see. This one is neutral white. This is the one that I use, that if I find something cool and I need to see the detail but film a B-roll clip of it, I put this down, I put the relic, hopefully a coin, down to see the detail. The neutral white doesn't wash out the colors. From an EDC standpoint, it's the magnetic base I love, so I can use it to put light where I want, or I use it as my headlamp because it's small enough, light enough. And I like the orange for high visibility, for when I put them down, I can see them. So Warrior 3S, the Warrior 3 came out just about almost 3 years ago, and then the S was like 6 months later, so that's almost 3 years old. This one is almost exactly 2 years old. So again, been carrying a flashlight for almost 30 years, and you know, flashlights, you kind of go with where the technology goes, so they change as time goes on. And I'm pulling these out of my holster as they are in line. No particular reason other than that. My Swiss Army knife. This is the Tinker model. This is 24, this is almost 25 years old, and I have been carrying it every single day since I got it. I love it. It's so small, it's so light. I used to just slide it into my pocket, but now I have a Kydex holster, and it's worn in. It's great. You can use one finger to get them open. The Phillips head screwdriver on this is probably my most used thing. But again, look them up. You can see the little tools that are in it. A couple blades, flathead, Phillips. Those are really the most important. That is, it's probably my anchor with EDC stuff. I would never ever replace that, although I do own Leathermans and stuff. You just can't beat it for its size and what it does. Next is my pry bar. This was made by a friend, Chris. This is 5 years old. He used a tool steel to make it. The edge is uncompromised, and it's one of those things. I can go 3 weeks without using it, and then I get into an area where it seems like I need it constantly to get something out from, you know, wedged in between roots, rocks. Absolutely essential. I don't care if you take a small chisel with you, flathead screwdriver. In New Hampshire, you get into predicaments where you just cannot get it out of the ground with a shovel, and your fingers are gonna die if you try to do it that way. So this is a must-have, and I've used different pry bars, but this is my favorite. It's just 5 years old. Love it. And EDC wise, I do use it quite frequently. Always need to, you know, scrape something off, give something a little pry. As an EDC tool, a pry bar to me is quite essential, so I don't damage my knife. Now, knives, same thing. Been carrying them for over 20 years. I had, well, let me start. This is the Adamas. This is the Benchmade Adamas. I used to carry the original, going back 10 years. I carried it for 6 years, and then 4 years ago, they came out with the updated version. And it's just awesome. It is just simply awesome. I own a lot of knives. When I'm not out in the woods, I use other knives. When I'm in the woods, I only carry this knife because it's burly as hell. And I like the serrated blade version. So if I just need to get through something rough, I can do it quickly. To me, a woods knife should be a larger knife because you really never know if and when you may need something that can handle something that you're not expecting. Now the thing about this knife, it's, you know, marketed as a tactical knife, which it is, but the beautiful thing is, so I'm right-handed, but left-handed wise, there's no issue opening this. When it shuts, it just drops. It's made to be deployable, closable, one-handed. I mean, you don't even have to use the thumb stud. You can just do it with gravity. And I'll tell you, when I'm out in the woods and I'm carrying a camera, shovel, detector, and I need my knife, sometimes I only have that one hand to just do that, pull a piece of twine or whatever I'm getting out of my way, and that to me is awesome. I do not want any difficulty when deploying or closing my knife, left-handed, right-handed, whatever. So that is the Benchmade Adamas. Again, I've been carrying the first version and then this version about 10 years. This is 3.5, it's almost 4 years old, and it's just been killer. It is a fantastic knife. Oh, and the clip, I did switch out the clip to a Lynch Northwest titanium. No other reason than aesthetics, because they made one that matched. That's it. The Benchmade clips actually are really good that come with this, but I wanted to have that, so I got it. And then, we're getting down to the last of the on-person stuff. A Zippo lighter. Portable flame. I think I've been carrying a Zippo lighter since 1998. So, a long time. It's a classic item to have. Everybody who spends time out in the woods should carry portable flame. I have other ways of starting fires, but I love Zippos. And that is an anchor along with the Swiss Army knife, because those are the two pieces that I've carried longer than anything. Obviously the flashlights change out, like I said, knives kind of change out. But these two, which are classics, they don't change for a reason. They're great the way they are. So that is it for my on-person EDC gear in the woods and not in the woods. Oh, we can't forget probably the most important and the only thing that really makes it possible, the footwear. So I've been wearing Merrells for 12 years or so. These are the Moabs. I think it's the Moab too. And I put on in the woods probably 35 plus miles a week. I do between 4 to 6 miles every single day, and this is what I wear. And then I have a good clean pair for when I'm not in the woods. Now, the thing about these boots, Merrells, I used to wear the standard Moab version, and I was going through 3 pairs of these a year, and it seemed like the quality was getting a little bit worse. They were blowing out on the sides. You can see this one's actually cracked. So what I did was I switched to the leather versions, and I did that 3 seasons ago, so 2 years ago, and for the past 2 seasons I got an entire year, so call it March to December, out of 1 pair of boots. Last year, same thing. This year, started out with these brand new, and I'm still wearing them. So I went from 3 of these a year down to 1 pair a year by switching over to the leather ones. It was that much of a difference. So I want to say it's the Merrell Moab too, but again, it'll just be down in one of the links there so you can check them out. The thing about Merrells and why I wear them, they are the only boots or shoes, footwear ever that I can buy them brand new and wear them straight out of the box, go into the woods for the entire day, and my feet do not get, you know, that new shoe break-in beat down. Straight out of the box comfort. That's why I wear them. Okay, and this is the one I've been putting the most thought to as to what I want to show you, how I want to show it to you, because we could be here all day. So I'm just going to go over some of it. The pack. This is the 511 Rush 12, and I have had several of them for the past 12 years or so, maybe a little bit longer. They're indestructible. I did switch out for a time to the Rush 24 a couple years ago, and it was just a bit too big for me to wear every single day. The 12 I ended up going back to is just a great size for a go out in the woods for the day pack. It's heavy. It gets heavy. You put a bunch of fluid in here, drinks, strap your shovel on it, and everything else, it's heavy. But it's comfortable. I'm out in the woods every single day for 4 or 5 hours, and most days I'm wearing it the entire time. So that speaks volumes. But the thing is, again, durability wise, they make the best stuff. Unquestionably, I still have a bunch of their packs, and not one of them has ripped, torn, been compromised in any way. So what do I carry? Well, there's a lot of contingency stuff for, you know, the everyday thing. Batteries, spare parts, you know, for the detector. But I have to have batteries, extra batteries for my camera. Spare battery if I need to charge things. Fire starters, paracord, blah blah blah. The usual EDC, you know, what some people consider survival stuff, but it's just basic standard stuff. I'm going to go through some of the things though that really pertain to every day for me out in the woods that get used. This right here is a little spray tube, and it has hand sanitizer in it with alcohol. This I use a lot because when I'm down on the ground all the time digging, you happen to pick up sap, tree pitch on your hands, and I have to keep my hands as clean as I possibly can because of the camera. And when you get pitch on you, dirt sticks to it, and then you just transfer it to everything else. Not to mention, when you're digging, you get sand and pitch, it just eats through your fingers and you end up with holes in your hands. The alcohol takes it off immediately. So sometimes I just, I get up and I've got crap stuck everywhere to me. A little bit of this takes it right off, and I don't get it all over the camera. So that is an important part of the everyday digging thing. Then, and I think I showed you guys this in a video recently, this is a Zippo box that a lighter came in, and I use it to carry the spare batteries for detector and pinpointer, and it's the perfect size. That's why I use it. They're not rattling all over the place, and when you're that far out in the woods, you want to make sure you have spare batteries. And then, like I said, liquid, I usually carry about a day's worth of food if I needed it, high calorie stuff. That's always in the bag. And here we go with what I consider the most important piece of contingency gear in my pack. A radio. So I've been a ham radio operator for well over 20 years. Being in the mountains of New Hampshire, there's plenty of places where I do not have cell service. But I know that I can hit repeaters all around here. So if I ever get into a really bad spot or a pinch, I know I can get out with my radio. So this is a Yaesu FT5. It has GPS. If I needed to, I could send my coordinates to somebody else. I carry a spare battery for this. And this is one of the things outside of the liquid that I would not go into the woods without. I have actually driven down the road, got myself 10-15 minutes away from home, once actually, and forgot I left this on the charger. I went back for it because I could not even think the thought of going out into the woods and not having that, that disconnect just in case you need it, bothered me. And so the only thing I have done to this pack, and people probably wonder how we keep our shovels strapped to our packs, and this is one of the things that the links will be important so you can see exactly what it is. They make these, they call it a tier system with these straps. It's so you can take smaller packs and strap them onto your bigger packs, a tier system. These are those straps, but I've modified them. I've cut them, reconnected them, and made them the perfect size. So let me get it. And you see me do it at the end of videos or at the beginning of videos. So again, I've cut them, modified them, so they're the perfect length. And that's where the shovel goes and stays. I don't know. They're like somewhere under $20, and you'll get like 4 of them. And you just chop them up. You'll figure it out if it's something you need or want to do. It's never come loose. It's never come off. It's never been an issue. Get the 511 ones. Don't buy anything else. And you will have great luck and success with that setup. So outside of, like I said, the normal what you should carry in the woods things, I carry first aid stuff, obviously. Carry some food. Liquid has to be replenished every single day. Communications, batteries, spare parts. Oh, here's something that pertains to digging or exploring, whatever you're out doing. Plastic bags. One, they don't weigh anything, and they're super handy. So every now and then I dig something out of the ground that's either broken, bottles, glass, but I still want them, large, it ain't gonna fit in the pouch. I can put it in, essentially grocery store bags, and put it in my pack. So forever, all my backpacks have always had trash bags. They're just, you can use them for so many different things, as well. Ziploc bags, and then some zip ties. That is something that takes up no space. You put them at the bottom of the bag. They're super light, and if you need them, you have them. It ain't gonna cost you anything extra to put it in your bag. But that's it. That's the gear. That's the everyday stuff that really does not change out too much. Every now and then I'll take a different machine for a different approach, or, you know, a different environment. This hasn't changed. My pack hasn't really changed. Like I said, the 12. I've used the 24. I used to use a sling pack, but I need to carry more stuff because I'm going a lot further out than I used to, and filming, I have to make sure that I have backups of backups. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it gives you a little bit of insight of when you see me out in the woods as to, you know, why I have certain things I do. And yeah, go check out the links. If you buy something and I've helped you make a purchase, well, I'll get a commission, and that's wonderful. All right, time to pack it up and go do things. See you next time.